Legos. Found this yesterday mowing. It just made me realize how much I used to love Legos, you know, as a kid, building, creating. But now, as an adult, doing the same thing, but just with camera rigs. What's going on, everyone? Alex here, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are talking about this. My Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K rig. Boy, is that a mouthful. Now, before we delve too far into this rig, I'd like to talk to you guys about subscribing. Yes, subscribing to this channel. I have noticed that 91.6% of people that are watching my content aren't subscribed. That's kind of a bummer because I'm making content for you guys, and if you're enjoying the content, it really would mean the world to me if you'd subscribe. So if you enjoyed this video, subscribe, tap the notification bell so you can be notified when I upload new videos, and if you happen to like it, give it a thumbs up. So with all that aside, let's go ahead and dive into my Pocket 4K rig and why it works for me. So with having a VMount battery, I knew I would have to rig this camera out, and the first place to start is a camera cage. And as you can see right here, I went with the Smallrig half cage. And the reason I went with the Smallrig half cage is because, well, I mean, the other side of the camera has a grip, a pretty comfortable grip. Buttons are all easily accessible, and with a full cage, I felt like maybe that might get in the way. And I don't really feel like I'm gonna need to mount anything on the side where the grip is. So that's kind of why I went with a half cage. After getting the Smallrig half cage, I knew I needed a top handle, so I went with the Smallrig top handle as shown right here. Oh, and don't worry, I'll be sure to link everything in the description below. But with this particular Smallrig top handle, it is a cold shoe mount. The reason I have it is because I actually used this top handle for my Canon EOS R, so I knew I needed a little adapter to attach the Smallrig half cage and then the top handle to it. So that right here is the Smallrig cold shoe adapter. And with the top handle in place, I needed a monitor mount to attach to my Ninja V. And again, I already had this monitor mount for my EOS R. It's a pretty cheap monitor mount. I wouldn't recommend it necessarily. I'll still link it in the description below, but just be warned, it is cheap. It's not my favorite monitor mount. I do plan on upgrading this in the future, probably to something Smallrig, since pretty much my whole rig is Smallrig. So just to kind of keep it all cohesive.
That's it.
The Ninja V works fantastically with my Pocket 4K, but if you don't need an external recorder, then I'd recommend getting the Atomos Shinobi. It's a lot cheaper, same nit brightness, it just doesn't have an external recorder. So, but there is a catch with the Shinobi, is if you are shooting 4K 60, it doesn't output that to the monitor. I mean, it still records in camera, but it just won't show up on the monitor. So you'll have to drop the resolution on the monitor down to 1080p, and it'll work just fine. But just keep that in mind. Out from the Ninja V comes the HDMI cable, comes all the way down here and goes right into the Smallrig HDMI USB-C right angle adapter made for the Smallrig cages. And I just recently got this, but so far I'm totally happy with it because to me, it kind of protects the HDMI port and the USB-C port, which I've heard quite a few people have problems with the USB-C port on the Pocket 4K breaking and all that stuff. So for me, this kind of secures it, keeps it covered, and really if anything goes wrong, it's just this little adapter and I can just buy another one, which was like 15 bucks. It's a pretty good deal. When I was researching the Pocket 4K, I was looking for battery solutions as well. So I ended up with the IndiPROTools VMount plate, which came with a VMount battery as well. And that just goes onto 15mm aluminum rods, which you can see right here. And then I went ahead and got a Smallrig tripod mounting kit, which came with the 2 plates and also came with the 15mm rod clamps, which makes it really easy attaching it to a tripod because I've got the tripod plate already mounted on it. I know what you're thinking. How am I supposed to get to that awesome 5-inch screen on the Pocket 4K when I've got a big dumb VMount battery covering it all up? Well, that's another reason why I went with this VMount plate, is because it actually moves back and forth. There is a catch though. After getting it, I do realize this. There is a catch. When you do move it back and forth, like so, it's nice, I like it. But once you keep doing that, back and forth, it comes loose right down here on these guys. It's a little bit of a hindrance, but all you have to do is just retighten it. That's all you gotta do, just like that, boom. Retighten it and it's back to being sturdy and strong, so.
It's actually, I'm not even mad. That's amazing.
Not a deal breaker, but it's kind of annoying. Yet I live with it, but I wish I didn't have to, but I still do. It's a good tool, it's cheap, does the job. And out of the VMount plate is a D-tap to DC power, and that is plugging directly into the Ninja V, which is powering that off of the VMount battery, and it's just an all-in-one package, which I really, really love. Keeping my Metabones speed booster in place is this little bracket right here. It basically just attaches from the Metabones into the cage. Make sure it's extra tight, not going anywhere. Feels super secure, feels part of the camera in itself. So that is definitely recommended if you are gonna use this camera with a speed booster. That's all I've got on my Pocket 4K rig right now. I am looking at getting a matte box in the future, as well as a follow focus, and then it will be officially complete, in my opinion. But right now, it's a fun camera to use, especially with this current rig. It's by far my favorite rig. I've watched tons of rig videos, and this to me is very, very easy for me to use. Keeps it light, keeps it compact, not too big, not too bulky. So it works for me, and that's all that matters. So when you're rigging out your Pocket 4K or Pocket 6K, just go with what works for you. Well, that does it for me on this video. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing. I've got a crap ton more videos down the pipeline. Just to name a few, I'm gonna review the Sony a6100, I'm gonna do a lighting tutorial, and I'm gonna review an anamorphic lens. Yes, that is coming. That is coming. So, like I said, if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you aren't already, tap the notification bell so you can be notified when I upload a new video, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Till next time, shoot to create.